Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, of course, to Relog Media's 9 to 5. We're getting into the depths of this Swiss bracket now, of course. Joined by Truman, we'll kick off these two starting matches of the day. Kicking off with one of the chances for one of these teams to survive in the bracket. It's SG Pro versus Level Up here.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup. Of course, both teams are 1 and 2 in the bracket, so this is do or die right now. They need to win the next two series to make it to the playoffs, otherwise they're out. So we're gonna see some people leave today again. This is an interesting match between the two because I consider both of these two incredibly dangerous underdogs. They have had some really good performances lately, but of course, like their average is lower than most teams, but they can definitely upset against some very high ranking teams. And well, with the map pool being Train, Nuke, and Mirage, it's going to be an interesting series to boot, Kieran. What are your thoughts on the maps?
Yeah, especially this first map coming in. It's a flat 50-50 coming into this. Both have played a lot of Train. Both have played a little bit of an up and down spiral on Train. They've had some wins, they've had some losses, which is again very, very scary considering the fact, like you say, both of these teams have had good runs out against teams way higher in the rankings. So it does prove that they are capable of at least playing to a higher level. And yeah, you look at both of these squads, it's going to be very difficult for this first map. Nuke is a little bit more of a standard pick for SG Pro, something that they've sort of selected as their main best of three pick over the last couple of weeks or so, leaving a scrappy Mirage as the third potentially. But yeah, Train for me is going to be that real decider of where this series goes. If SG Pro come out on top, they can take this 2-0, but both of these teams are dangerously notorious for taking this to a third map.
Yeah, I mean, statistically speaking, if you look at it, it's so incredibly close between the two 50 to 50, 33 to 30, 50 to 36%. So it's honestly who woke up the best today between these two teams. I would slightly edge more towards. I'm gonna go with Level Up. I feel like they could take this series today. Do I really think that they have stepped up the game a lot more lately. Of course, SG Pro is still a very dangerous team. They've got some very solid frags on their side, but I'm gonna go with Level Up, and yeah, that's my prediction for this one.
Yeah, Level Up's a real solid side. I mean, they've come out with some real good wins since even back in the days of when they were the Juggernauts lineup, then transitioned into Level Up. You know, they've made a couple of roster changes, so Necrogenesis coming in as that sort of more stable finish to the roster now, which is again a real good sign. He's one of those players that has the prospects to turn up, but you've got the likes of Impulse in the squad, who's a fantastic AWP player and will really match up to a player like Kisa. We've seen him in the series, sort of in the previous matches, sort of disappear as such when it comes down to playing against another standard of AWP that can contest against him. So that's where things can get difficult for me for this SG Pro side, is that some of their pieces can be matched up by Level Up here. And you made a really good point. Both of these teams very much the underdog in most of their series, but it's so flat here. The odds from Unica and the bookmakers definitely matching this up as a very close game, and rightly so. It's either going to be a 2-0 thanks to a definitive win on Train by SG Pro, or we should be seeing all three maps here in this one.
It's of course, if you're gonna look at, for instance, Train. I mean, this is a pretty op heavy map pool with Train, Nuke, and Mirage, so it's gonna come down to the fight between Impulse and Kisa. But I would say I think it's very close between the two, but I have been more impressed by Impulse's flashy plays. Definitely has turned a lot of rounds in his favor, and do expect that to happen on these op heavy maps. Of course, it's going to be one of the most crucial things about these two teams is of course going to be the knife round. Actually, the who's going to start on the CT side is going to have the best advantage because they're pretty solid on their CT side, but honestly, on the T side, on most maps, they've been very lacking. But that's where a lot of teams have been struggling lately in the 9 to 5 Cup, and the knife rounds seem more important than ever.
Yeah, I mean, especially in this sort of meta where we've seen on maps like Nuke and Train, where you're able to get 8, 9, 10 T-sided rounds, that's where things can get a little scary. So yeah, it's going to be down to these teams to really define the opening of this map and just solidify a solid start, especially knowing that there's 2 maps separating these two. You know, SG Pro have played 16 maps of Train, same for Level Up as they played 14, so it's very, very close. The fact that it's 50-50 as well, so sort of 8 out of 16, 7 out of 14, it just shows that this map really can go either way for both of these two teams. And the fact that we've got flat 50-50s facing off against each other is always going to be a little bit more of a scary prospect. But I feel like, yeah, it's going to be that knife round that will decide. You know, if SG Pro get that CT side as start, you'll have Kisa being on his sort of more comfortable half. You'll have the likes of Rufire who can then guide the squad and just sit comfortably, direct this side. It's the early map of the day. It's the first map, you know, starting very, very early. So they've got to get comfortable to start to switch things up a little bit and just see if they can get that series kicked off and started. But Train's going to be the decider for me. Like, even though it's the first map of the series, I feel like it's going to be that massive decider. SG Pro, if they take it, they go into nuke their own map pick. So Level Up, whilst it is their pick, they've got a lot to prove here on this first map.
It's going to be an interesting map. I'm first of all excited that I get to see Train. I haven't casted Train in a while. It's my favorite map, but no one ever wants to play it because it is such an op-heavy map, and it is one of the most strategic maps out there. You've got to have like the perfect set utility to make it into a site. Otherwise, you're going to get absolutely flushed by these CT defenders. And that's why it's also very hard for T's to make it through. But with that, the most important round of this game is going to start, and that is the knife round. And we're going to be heading right into it right now.
First map of the day, like you mentioned, it's do or die for both of these teams. Whoever loses this does unfortunately go out in this bracket, making it out of a 1-3, unfortunately. So SG Pro, the one thing that they have been sort of capable of doing once already is taking sort of that 5th best of 3 if necessary right at the end. That was how they made it out of the bracket, I believe, in the first 9-5 cup. So they are capable. They do win the knife round. They will get that CT-sided start that we definitely so enamored. But Level Up, the one thing that they'll be kicking things off is that T offense on their own map pick. So if there's one half where Level Up, sure, they've got to play T-side. If there's one half where they can play a comfortable T-side, is definitely on Train. But we'll kick off the pistol round here. The opening best of 3 of the day. 1-2 matchup. Whoever loses is out. Vital game for both of these squads. Pistol round to come up here on Train.
It's going to be a interesting one to see. Let's see. The T's have 2 smokes, 2 flashes, and a molly. Normally, if you pick up a molly and a smoke, it's that, you know, the B play where you can just cover the bomb with it. I'm kind of terrified that SG Pro doesn't have a defuse kit, but look at that quick flank coming out from SG Pro, already going down the ladder. Senator gets himself 2 kills to start it off with, and I was worried for absolutely nothing. They're crushing down this Level Up offensive side with Avian on the site. Last man standing, just gonna get flanked and destroyed, losing no one on SG Pro. And well, they don't have to buy a kit if you just wipe the enemy off the face of the earth.
Yeah, quickly, is that SG Pro? That's a very solid start. Pistol round in their favor. First choice that Level Up have to make is a full eco. Not going to be committing into any sort of buy round here. Not wanting to overexpend. A couple of pistols to be collected, but nothing major. Bro. Oh, breezing through there, AVN. Kisa does find a second with that Nova. Able to pick up some solid firepower at least. Able to grab another frag as well. Hold on a second here. This is not over yet. They do have Impulse inside of Heaven, but it's D that's spamming away now. It's more down to that 2v2. They know where at least one player is. Then it's all can come down from the Heaven position, but still gets the frag, and all down to D will not survive. It's expensive, but SG Pro get the win.
Yeah, I really despise the Nova in this game. It feels so incredibly underwhelming, and they the reload time is so incredibly long as well. But of course, if you get a kill, you get a lot of money out of it. But as you said, expensive round coming through, especially with the investment from Level Up. Now they'll be picking up an AWP and 4 AKs. That was way too costly for the SG Pro side. They're going to double AWP in the first gun round as well. This is some incredibly aggressive investment coming out from the SG Pro side. And, well, it might catch the Level Up players by surprise, but it also might be... well, it might just be you losing a lot of rounds in a row if you're going to lose that massive investment from this round.
Very awkward first round here for the full buy. To see double AWP so early is a scary prospect here. Level Up, they'll be running into a plentiful purchase. Not a lot of utility left on that CT side, though, so that's the one thing that might switch things up here. But Fame in that close corner with Dimka getting ready. Trying to battle inside of Pop Dog. The spray does do damage. This time doesn't line up, though. Have to be careful here. Sinator does manage to catch a return kill. Now it's Kisa in that corner. Trying to see if he can get out safely here. Spots out the first player at least. Does not get baited. Bomb plant will go down, but it's players that are falling back to a 3 versus 3. But that's some great info by Roofire.
Luckily, Necrogenesis tries to even it out, but Roofire on 2 HP. Dimky needs 1 bullet to connect to him, but do they know his angle that he's playing from? They do have an inkling. Luckily, Senator does shut him down, and they'll take that round win and should be able to recover an op as well with the time left after the bomb defuse. So SG Pro, they managed to take that round win away from Level Up, and it's a nice one indeed. Unfortunately, it did cost them a lot, but well, with the money saved on Level Up and from Bomb Plan, they definitely could go for a buy, and they're gonna go for it because, well, they're keeping SG Pro's economy low the entire time. So if they win one time, it's completely broken.
Yeah, this is exactly what they understand right now, which is perfect actually here for the SG Pro side. They know that they've still got to keep consistent. And Kisa, that's exactly what he's doing right now. The spray with the AUG not going to line up, though. The rebuy here out of SG Pro could be costly. He realizing there's a better weapon on offer there. Senator able to cross, does not get his life, though. Impulse denied, or denying Senator. Dimka closing out Fame as well. And already a 4 versus 2. Some hefty damage taken. Kisa will come through with that AWP. Will not reveal his position by rattling off a shot, but will go for the aggro push. That's a very quick peek onto Impulse. Molotov over the top as well will add some further damage, but it's Dimka. Oh, did not spot the angle there. Now takes the frag. Level Up do get their first round, and like you said, they were persistent, and it pays off as they do break the economy.
SG Pro pretty much has to force up in this one because they won't be able to buy into the next one, so it's just going to be pistol armor on their side. Level Up managed to take this one without, well, making a big mistake on their side. It should be an even scoreline, 3-3 coming through fairly soon. But of course, Deagle's are very scary. I'm kind of surprised that Kisa did not keep a little bit of extra cash in the bank so that he could afford the op in the first gun round. But look at the aggression from Senator. They do have an idea that that might be coming through. D is holding the angle for the push. And they just jiggle peeking next to each other to see who's going to spot it out first. 3 players towards B. And 1 in the Pop Dog area. He's going to push Ivy, and he's going to get shut down in Ivy. D was holding that angle the entire time and managed to take down a player. A site has barely any defenders to speak of at the moment. And it does look like they're going to head towards that A bomb site slowly but surely. They're just afraid of a possible push coming up from SG Pro.
I want to be shutting down some of those more vital angles heading into the last 50 seconds of this round. Do need to be Very, very careful about how this one does indeed take shape. 40 seconds on the clock, though. They can't really afford to sit back for much longer here on the on the level up side, or else they are going to be scarily running out of time. Necro already onto that bomb site, though, will be trying to clear the path for his squad. Necro does take out Deere. That will make their lives much easier now. Bomb plant can go down safely. AWP closing it out, making sure that this is absolutely perfect for the side of Level Up. Getting away with a solid little second round, breaking the bank of SG Pro again, so will have to be an eco round. Great chance to get away with the early mistakes. So should be able to tie the scoreline off of the back of this one. At least make it 3-3. Starting train pretty competitively so far, and a clean round from Level Up as well means they get plenty of economy moving into the next round.
Yeah, it's you should be winning as many rounds as possible on that T side, because that's a T sides, of course. Normally a lot easier with a solid opera on your side in Impulse. This round, SG Pro shouldn't be able to buy anything. But the most important thing is the fact that in the next round, they shouldn't even be able to afford an op on SG Pro. And that's what you really want. You don't want to duel up against Keys' op the entire time. You just want to keep their economy so low and their management just a little bit weaker, so that they cannot pick up the big green stick, because it's the most crucial weapon on this map. These long corridors, like 50 angles that you can be holding with the op from the other side of the map are just going to be really tough to deal with if you're on the T side. You never know where it might be stationed or go for a quick peek. And I do like the fact that Level Up are slowing it down, not going for the very aggressive burst out that you can get overwhelmed, just going for the information play. But they are very spread out, and when you're up against a lot of pistols, that might sometimes bite you in the keister. If you, for instance, if you walks forward and gets spotted by 3 players with a USB, they only need a couple of taps to his body and headshot, and he still falls. Even though it is the beginning pistol, it definitely still can secure a kill.
Gotta be careful here, Level Up. They are walking right into a full bomb site stack. Luckily, D, though, making sure that that is not going to be the case. Might be able to trade one back here for Kisa, and that's exactly what he does, at least getting a solid trade out of that. But 3-3, all tied up here. Consecutive rounds gained by Level Up as well. So with money now in the bank for SG Pro, yeah, it's not going to be Kisa on an AWP, unfortunately. The money just not stretching far enough to be able to help them out there. So it is down to just the 4 purchase this time, which isn't particularly the best place to be in if you are a CT side of Train. As we can see, Impulse finds that first frag, and the one thing that now will be allowed to happen is that AWP can just free roam the map with minimal difficulty. Fame. Very precarious angle as that smoke dissipates. Dimka will be able to take him out. That's a very nice little refrag. Damage done. Kisa trading some at least for the tags. There's the first and second by Deere. But it's still back to a 3v2 as they reclaim the advantage. On the Level Up side, it's all down to Senator now.
Well, it's going to be a 1 round by Level Up. It's still a very costly one, though, but because, of course, they had very clean rounds prior, they have more than enough money in the bank. And, well, you saw SG Pro, they just didn't have the utility. They didn't have the op, most importantly. And even if it came down to a bomb plant, they didn't have a single defuse kit on the SG Pro side. So hopefully in the next round, not after this round, they will have that big green stick, maybe even the double, as we saw in the first gun round, and they should be able to get something done with that. It's a really crucial part of a CT defense on this map, and you should run your economy perfectly so you at least can get it's secured pretty much. But level up, if they win this one, which is very likely, they'll already be on 5 rounds on the T side. That is looking like an incredibly solid T side for the players at level up. Of course, it is still in the early days, but you can see why they picked this as their map pick, because they are looking pretty solid on their T side, and they've caught them out a couple of times. Kiza, close range, could take down D if he's a little bit unaware of the positioning. A nice headshot coming through. Manages to pick up an AK. Close range impulse. This is the problem. He doesn't have any refrag potential, so he needs to fall back. Close range fame as well. These off angles coming through. Necrogenesis does barely manage to take that kill away. The deagle from Senator trying to get the catch onto Dimki, but there's going to be the push on towards A. He's up in the sky. We'll get 1. We'll get 2. Great double up with the AK. Now the last 2 players are pushing forward towards A. He's still up in the sky though, Kiza. And will they expect him to still hold an angle up high? Impulse will catch him out, and a nice shot indeed. It's all on Senator. A lot of damage has been dealt, but the bomb is going down, and it is going to be a post-plant situation. Well, it's a tough one. Not like it's not doable, but with the long-range engagements, that op has a slight massive advantage.
So far, so good. Level up, like you said, the fact that they are getting these rounds on the T side is very, very good sign. Even with Kisa picking up very good frags, it's not going to change the outcome. Triple AWP out by SG Pro. What is this? They're going for an absolutely massive purchase. Very expensive as well, we should add. This is a buy round that I have not seen in a long time. But if it works out for SG Pro, then it definitely, sure works, but the massive risks to take here on this sort of round. It would break the economy once again. If they do lose this, Senator holding the angle. You can see Impulse is trying to edge his way closer to this side, although they are getting ready for the bait and switch. The run boost is good, but Senator is better. Nice first frag found onto Impulse. That picks off the sniper. Necro will reclaim it this time with the smoke down. Oh, they will just sit defensively. Dire will get the tag of damage there. And maybe come in through the pop dog flank as well, but Dimka is going to be aware of that, getting ready for a little bit of a spam position. But SG Pro, this is some sort of balls to go for a triple AWP buy.
Yeah, first gun round, they went for the double. Now they go for the triple. Especially the position that they were holding, both in Ivy with the op. Rather terrifying to see if you make the jump peak that you randomly see 2 ops aiming right at you, of course. A little bit of psychological warfare there. We do have a pretty much a execute coming out. That's 1 kill for Fame. Gets both of them in the pop dog area, and now it's just going to be Necrogenesis to try and deal some economic damage. Will drop 1, but that's all he will be able to get done. They're going to secure that 3rd op, and they'll be able to take 3 ops into the next round as well. The triple op seemed to pay off.
So far, so good. This is finally SG Pro looking like a safer squad on the CT side. Yeah, that triple AWP comes through and really saves the day there, giving a 4th round to the CT side. They will keep those 3 snipers on the field as well here to be picking up that 3rd sniper again. Kisa burning in that Molotov, just taking a little bit of damage there to extend a peak. Didn't want to stick around though. It's all just holding the line, waiting for any sort of boost to come. That's not going to be offered so far to SG Pro. Again, it's this type of round that really is going to slow things down, but with level up so far is where things can either become very promising for them or start to get a little worse. Economy is on the ropes. Fame able to get 1, but it's AVN that fires back. The double drop into Pop Dog at least works out for this one. Again, with the 4 versus 4 with 3 AWPs in play, this round really starts to become difficult. If this comes into a retake, SG Pro are insta-saving. They cannot afford to sacrifice 3 snipers.
Yeah, and retaking the site with that is just absolutely troublesome. They had both op stationed at the B bomb site. Now it's just only Duray with the op holding it down because Kisa is in CT, afraid that someone might go for the push from Ivy through. There's going to be the utility thrown out towards B. Molly to try and deter them a little bit, but it is going to be a 1-for-1 trade coming out. The bomb is dropped though, and there's a flank coming out behind Impulse, getting caught out. He was just too slow on the rotation. Needs to die in 5 seconds time or save his weapon, and it's going to be saving his weapon. But the money situation on level up is well, they pretty much got broken economically there. They could go for a buy because D won't be able to afford to buy into the next round, but that's the decision that you have to make. Are you going to buy up with D, or are you going to save and then let D play a weaker weapon into the next round while the rest of the team has solid weaponry?
Yeah, it's going to be a full-on eco. Level up not going to be expending into much here. Pistols and Kevlar, I'm loving the fact that they are at least committing to what seems to be a faster B-sided play, which is definitely the right thing to do when you have those sort of buy rounds ready on these pistols. Sending the first couple players in. Dire, though, able to line up a swift shot onto Necro that will completely ward them away from this close B bomb site. They'll back off straight away. But look at this. You've got Roofire already going aggressive. This is what you love to see. They're getting ready for a double drop. They're about to walk right in. Roofire. Oh my god, this is fantastic. Gets away with a double. Dimka does trade back one, but not that it matters. Perfect play from SG Pro, and back into the lead they go as well. 6-5, 3 rounds in a row. Looking like this first half is at least going to be very competitive.
Yeah, Roofire with the sneaky beaky play coming through. Gets himself a nice double there. And SG Pro keeping a lot of players alive in these rounds. Of course, having to reinvest in triple op setup again would be very troublesome, but their initial buy of it has netted them 3-1 rounds in a row. So it definitely was the correct call to be made. Sinter's getting a little bit aggressive outside, but there's no op on the level up side to face up against this one. And Sinter is just going to back it off before he gets caught and drops it in favor of his opponents. Fame gets the double drop in Pop Dog, and with that, I mean, they've got bomb control right now. He didn't even take a bullet of damage. It's going to be very hard for Level Up to recover this round already up against these long-range engagements with the ops. There's a player up towards Ivy, though, that... Okay, now someone is speaking. Impulse is going to get to catch onto Roofire. Senator misses the shot, but there's the flank onto Senator. Deagle coming in. D gets the kill coming through, and they trade it out nicely. The Molly's burning down Fame, forcing him out of Pop Dog. They will be able to recover it. Ooh, that shot right there. Duray got very close to dropping. And D's going to catch out Kiza as well. A lot of just massive damage coming out from the level up players. They managed to recover most of the round. Fame is down to 17 HP, so he's playing in the one and done in heaven. And DeRay with the op is trying to find a target. They clear out Pop Dog. They need to go for the bomb plan, but if they manage to drop the planter, that could be all said and done. It is going to be the bomb not going down round one because they deny the plant, and with that, it is still going to be SG Pro taking the round away from a Level Up.
That's an absolutely perfect round. A little bit more expensive on the side of SG Pro, but they are getting a very good run of rounds here now, able to close out the economy for Level Up as well. They are starting to really make some solid rounds out of this now. First half should be going in their favor as well. It's a full eco again on that T side. The AWP being carried over, of course, but D really having not a lot of bank in reserve, unfortunately. So this is where the half starts to get increasingly difficult here for level up. And again, it is Train, but it is a map that should go very, very close. Seeming like this first half is going to be exactly that. However, Pro be getting ready for what seems like a little bit more of a B-sided rush from level up. They've got pistols ready. So is D-Ray, though. Ultimately, waiting for those legs to pounce. That's exactly what he does. Gets away with 2. Receives a tag in the process, but only down to 73. And the bomb is not yet retrievable either. So that is where SG Pro will put their main focus. They can retrieve the bomb, though, as Roofire sacrificing himself a little bit there. D taking a second. Now they back out toward the A bomb site, surely. Or not, though. No, the bomb's not retrievable. Oh.
Wow. This was a very, very bad round from SG Pro. Like, they had the weapon advantage. They had everything advantage, but just walking through the smoke there, thinking that you can take any duels straight up is not the play to be made. And now they'll lose those triple ops and make it a double op setup. It's well, that was not really a round that you'd expect SG Pro to lose with the damage that they dealt early on, but D just went pretty big with the retrieved op as well, and pretty decent one for level up. If they manage to win this one or the next, level up definitely in a very solid position. I think that 6 rounds is already enough on the T side, to be fair, of Train. It's a reasonably heavy CT sided map, and well, they won't be able to benefit off that double/triple op setup if you're on that T side. Or, well, you shouldn't, because it's kind of bad.
And here, SG Pro, this is one where if they don't win this, essentially level up have a great chance to snatch away 8 rounds in this first half. Plenty of utility for that B bomb site attack. Ready for the smoke through heaven, though. Needs to be very careful. Has a gap in that left side, which he might try and put to good use, although... Oh, there we go. Perfect shot, and escapes with his life as well. The crossfire is perfect. They don't even check the corner for D-Ray. That's a beautiful triple from him. Impulse there with the 1v4 at hand. Not going to matter, of course, and that was a perfect B-sided hold there. Again, not checking corners is going to be the demise of the round, but Kisa started it off. D-Ray getting the triple. That is exactly what you want to see from a round. Much better than the previous anyway from SG Pro.
Yeah, that was a nice hold coming through. A little bit of a sloppy execute coming out. Fortunately for level up, they will have a force up in the last round, of course, spending all the cash that they have. And actually kind of surprised, Avian still has $1,300, but you see some players on the level up squad that just didn't have full utility, so he easily could have dropped a Deagle himself, because he even upgraded to the Tech 9. Look at the nade damage coming out so far from SG Pro. Level up tagged decently, and this is putting them at 1 bullet headshot potential for the M4s. Impulse gets the opening kill onto Senator. That is one of the ops gone. They still do have 2 in play, though, so you are never safe when it comes to SG Pro's CT side in this series. Very annoying. I mean, personally, it's one of my worst things that I like to see is just so many ops, because you need to be so clean on your executes coming through. They do still have a lot of utility on the level up side. Not really a lot being thrown out just yet. There's going to be the first shot. Kiza connects it. Great flick to come through. But the repeat is, of course, a little bit dangerous. Roofire and Fame both get themselves a kill, and Fame makes it a double for himself. And with that, the round should be over for level up, and we're looking to 9-6 in favor of SG Pro. Pretty easy kills. They just weren't smoked off, walled off. They had full sight of their opponents, and Rufire is even going to peek out wide to catch out Impulse in the end. And 9-6, not a bad T side for level up, but when you're 5-3 ahead, you definitely are looking for a little bit more.
Yeah, solid there from SG Pro to at least alleviate the pressure of that first half. And luckily, this is where things are starting to get very, very dangerous here for level up. T side for SG Pro, however, definitely getting ready for that second half, though. This is where, 6 rounds on T side, it's not too bad. SG Pro, you do look at wins on Train, however, and they have played at least some solid T-sided halves, able to get 8 rounds against the side of Aves. They played an 11-4 T-sided half against Skade as well, so they're definitely capable of getting some solid T-sided success. So we'll see where this goes. But SG Pro, so far, their results have definitely been up and down on Train, that's for certain. We'll see if they can alleviate some sort of pressure coming into this one. Full set of utility on the likes of Impulse, Diffuse Kit for AVN as well. Seems like a full-on B-sided push here from SG Pro. They'll get the first entry. Necro, a very nice first frag. AVN to deliver the second, looking for 3. Senator does trade it back at least for 1, make it 2. Now the playing field is level, but they do have that HE grenade, not doing as much damage as they would like, though.
Is gonna be Senator going pretty big for his team. That 4K on the side. He was alone on the side at one point, gets himself a 4K with the P250 long range taps, and SG Pro take the pistol away. And well, level up are gonna start sweating a little bit, because of course you could choose to do 2 things. You can eco in this one and buy in the next, which it seems it's gonna be the plan instead of going for the force up. AVN is gonna be picking up the Zeus, see if you can possibly get 1 weapon drop, but it is gonna be well, they're gonna get ready for that full buy round into the next. Of course, no ops and the like, but they should have superior weapons if they go for the full M4s. Just utility will be rather lackluster, and it's going to be a pretty solid round for SG Pro, with only losing 1 player in Rufire. So we're going to get into the buy round very quickly.
Yeah, just about affording an AWP there as well. Necrogenesis going to pick up the first sniper of the CT side. Ability is incredibly limited, though, for the CT squad on most parts. D and Dimka really only having a convincing set of nades there. AVN has a couple, but again, it's definitely light for what you would expect from a CT side. Good first entry by Impulse, though. Kisa sent out as the first sort of entry player with that Galil. Not particularly the best weapon to attack with. Senator, very convincing spray control. Dimka, nice return, but Fame will respond. Impulse, he's still low. There's a quick trade. All down to AVN as he does get spotted out now. Tries to sort of run around the site, but not going to matter. 12 on the board for SG Pro in a very quick first gun round.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice. I'm getting very annoyed by the fact that DeRay has a Zeus and it's not showing me his weapon.
Yeah.
I was like, what was he running that round with? But yeah, it's a very quick round for SG Pro, and well, level up should be able to buy an op into the next one, but it's starting to look troublesome, because then you're already looking at 13-6, and even on the T side, you should be able to take those last couple of rounds away. And this is also level up's map pick, so as you said, next map is going to be Nuke. And SG Pro, yes, both statistics are rather terrible on that map, but it is a map that they do prefer to play, especially lately. They've played it a ton, and D is the last man standing. Did manage to retrieve himself an M4, is expecting the raid from the flank, and will not get a second kill in that round. SG Pro only need 3 more to take the first map away.
Brain is scarily slipping away from level up here. They need a massive turnaround. 7 rounds to at least tie the scoreline, and that seems very, very long way away. Kisa picking up the Krieg as well, one of the weapons that we don't particularly see too often. He's going to be picking it up in replacement of that AWP. We'll see if he can do much with it this time. Double snipers back out though on that CT side. Impulse and D going to be picking up those and might be able to put it into effect here as D is getting ready for a heaven peak. Oh, but Kisa reads it very well, tags up at least, getting the early little bit of damage inflicted, and that will slow down SG Pro, knowing now that there is an AWP to contest against the Molotovs inside of Pop Dog. Not going to completely overwhelm, and they will stem away from that drop down, getting ready for most likely a bit of a rotate perhaps, although Roof Fire. Nade will do a little bit of damage there, realizing there's now a player trying to break through on that A side, but Roof Fire is just going to be the anchor of this one, and scarily that might work out with the way that SG Pro are setting up toward the B side right now. Roof Fire could be super effective here.
I can even get the flank on the players towards Pop, but they're actually both inside Pop and could even crawl all the way towards that B bomb site. Does need to make sure that he doesn't make a sound though, and on the site he is gonna go and try and clear out Pop Dog. Spots one, tags Dimky very low, and that's gonna be a double entry for that A side. Impulse on the side has to go big to hold off this push, hold off this plan for now. Gets himself a double, and D chimes in as well. And Senator should be able to get the bomb plant in, but he is not going to stick it, and that gives them a chance to take this one away. He needs to win one duel. Time is ticking down. I don't know if he just had it. No, just too late.
That's so unfortunate. That looked like it should have been around there. Ah, that's a rip. Did get the final kill, but yeah, not gonna matter. Did, very, very strong fragging, but right at the last tick, not going to get it. 13-7, level up, just about get out with the round, but very expensive. Losing every single player. Can see what effect that has on the buy round. SG Pro take this one. They break the economy of that CT side just by taking them out so quickly there. And OAWP, not even an M4. That's how weak the bank is here.
That's just bad to see. You win the round and you've got absolutely nothing to show for it. So they have to play pretty much close range engagements, except for D, of course, with that scout. It's going to be Senator just distracting them with utility while the rest of his team is heading out. Ivy, big tag coming out onto Necrogenesis. Great flank from AVN, though. But the tap's coming out long range. The bomb has been dropped. It's a 3-on-3. HP difference is exactly even, actually. With Duray and Necrogenesis both being on 12 HP. AVN getting aggressive with that retrieved M4. He's trying to jiggle peek, see if he can find a player to take down, but they recovered the bomb and they're going to fall back right now. Two players pushed towards T-spawn and they're going to charge forward. Teams are just going to go for the CT to B play where... Ooh. Necrogenesis, pretty lucky that he didn't get tapped by a single bullet there, and they're just gonna rush forward through close range. D in connector will be held down though. The bomb plant should come in. OD is gonna get caught. Does not expect Fame to be on that angle. Avian gets spotted in heaven, but the flank from Necrogenesis is big. Again, a 2-on-2. HP still the exact same. Necrogenesis and AVN is coming down to them, but Duray, he holds that ramp, and this should be a crucial shot. Shuts him down. Necro should not be able to get anything done. I'm saying that, but he does manage to get rid of Duray. Picks up an AK, just needs one bullet to the head. Will not be able to connect it. Kiza does clutch it out and level up. As you said, their economy is still absolutely done. SG Pro only need 2 more rounds to secure that first map.
Yeah, they are able to at least guarantee they have economy for the next round coming up. But SG Pro right now breezing up to 15, most likely a single piece of Kevlar for that CT side as well. So looking for the early peak there. Necro not going to matter. Some very quick kills to come through from SG Pro. This is what we like to see. Breezing through an eco round. Confidence not letting yourself be overwhelmed by those Desert Eagles. It's very, very easy to sort of sacrifice yourself to those Deagles. SG Pro making sure that is not the case. 15-7 map point for the T side, and scarily about to swipe away Level Up's map pick, which is not a good position to be in, especially knowing that Nuke is a treacherous map for the Level Up squad. They have lost currently 7 in a row on this map. The results have been up and down, some overtimes, some quick victories. But again, it's not a great map for SG Pro either. They've only just started to turn it around for victories. So again, it's still going to be on the table. But at least Level Up here having a buy round that will be able to try and keep them in the game. Double snipers out for Impulse and D. We'll see where this goes, though. SG Pro getting ready for a B-sided take.
Yeah, it's going to be the quick execute. Misses his shot there, and that's the problem of having too many targets. You want to hit them all, and with that, you're going to miss them all. The bomb plant's coming in. They have a pretty solid post plant as well. Going to throw out the utility, get a little bit aggressive on site. Peeked into D's crosshairs there, will get shut down. Let's see if they will be able to retake it. Kiza gets the kill onto D. Fame chimes in as well. The spray down coming out, and now it's all on Rooffire. Needs to get rid of that Opper and Impulse. He did not manage to connect the shot to Rooffire, so now it's going to be a one-on-one situation. But Necrogenesis is going to win that duel, and with that, it's going to be Level Up still in the game. They still need 7 rounds though on their CT side to try and even it out. But SG Pro, they're not going to put their foot off the gas pedal because they have more than enough money for a solid buy on their end. And this game is, well, it's going to be dragged on a little bit longer, but we don't know if for how long it's going to last because it's going to be pretty tough. They've only won 2 rounds so far on Level Up, and in those 2 rounds, they've only had 1 player alive, like combined 1 player alive. The first round that they won, they had 0, so that doesn't bode well for the Level Up squad. Especially not with an opener from that, but Necrogenesis does chime in for the return kill. Kieran, however, gets traded out again. Can they hold on, Kieran?
Need to at this point. Impulse is burning in the Molotov. Senator just wiping him out of this one. Good return by D at least, but these 2 MP9s looking treacherous. Maybe not, though. As D now upgrades into that AK, into the 2 versus 2. The bomb is retrievable, but it's all down to Kisa. Somehow they've been able to ride out of this round a little more successfully. They will group up, though. There's the first for Kisa. Do they understand the position? Yes, they do. Kisa trading the kills, getting the victory. SG Pro, that is a very nice victory on Train. That's the map pick of Level Up, unfortunately taken away already.
That was very dominant by SG Pro, and this next map, of course, Nuke is going to be... well, same thing as in this map. It's going to be pretty troublesome if you start on that T side. Though SG Pro on Train at least showed that they can definitely play the T side of Train. Looked very solid. A little bit disappointed with a couple of those whiffed shots from Impulse on the op. But besides that, definitely deserved to win that one. And yeah, I'm excited for the second map.
Oh, me too. It's a Nuke Up. It's going to be a very awkward map for both of these teams to play. 30% win rate or so for both. We'll take a short break. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after this with our second map of Nuke. Do not go anywhere.
Initialize booting. These are your targets. You must find, capture and contain them until extraction vehicle arrives. Witnesses are irrelevant. Leave them unharmed if you can. End of a transmission. System online.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, into our second map of this series. It is Nuke, the map pick of SG Pro. A chance for them to define the series, to save themselves here in the Swiss stage. It was Level Up that won the knife round. They'll be looking for the clean start here on the CT side, of course. But it is the map pick of SG Pro. We can't take that away from them.
Yeah, but, you know, map pick doesn't mean too much if statistically both teams not the greatest on the map. 33% for SG Pro and 30% for Level Up. So both pretty much struggling on this map. Of course, SG Pro did take out Espada and Skade on this map recently. So and very convincingly as well, whereas their opponents Level Up, they've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maps in a row, 7 times in a row on this map. Of course, up against some decent teams, but still 7 losses in a row, definitely not something that you want to talk about. There's going to be the first couple of kills coming through. The bomb is heading towards that B bomb site. It's going to get planted as well safely. Dimkey is trying to find target, but look at that. The flank on towards ramp as well come through. It's going to get denied immediately, but they know it's where the last 2 players are. Peek out wide from Kiza, and now it's Necrogenesis. He has to get all 3. He was out of bullets as well. We'll get the defuse in, and that is a massive hold from Necrogenesis to get that first round for his team.
Oh, that's absolutely perfect. Level up. That's a great way to begin this time, though. Level up. I mean, if you're SG Pro, you've got to be disappointed with that. Just sacrificing a 1 versus 3 in that sort of position. Never a good sign. They do get the bomb plant, though. CIS fashion. Will they go for the full investment? I believe they probably will, and that is exactly the case. AK to be bought up by Kisa, the rest onto Galil's SMGs. So we'll see what SG Pro can find. Impulse straight for the AWP. However, they are looking for pure brute force. Senator down to the B side already. We'll be able to drop down into vent safely. Oh, but D trying to play up at the back of the smoke. This force buy round for SG Pro could be an issue. Senator good for 1. Impulse having to back away though as they try and attack that B bomb site.
But with the op down below towards B, they can immediately pull the trigger and head out towards A. We do have Roof Fire getting taken down. 1 on site with the XM. Drops a player. Pretty long range with the XM, but the Galil's going to get 1 as well. Kisa is next to vents, and both of the CTs are in vents at the moment, so they should be able to get the bomb plant in securely. With 1 guarding the vent. The Opper is heading towards Secret is outside at the moment, if I'm not mistaken. And it's going to be, well, flash coming through. Dimkey does win the fight up against Kisa. But there's the Ray, who will also get taken out by Dimkey. Nice double for him. They miss all the bullets onto Dimkey. And with that, the defuse will come in from level up. They managed to keep an AK and an Op alive. So definitely very nice for the level up squad. With that bomb plant, I mean, SG Pro could possibly go for another buy if they so please. They've gotten close multiple times, or they could go for the semi buy. Now they're just going to force it up again. They feel that they have the power behind it to shut down this level up economy.
Yeah, they're going to try and keep on the pressure here. 2 AKs in this round. Again, plenty of firepower. Level Up should understand that this is the sort of next stage of the force buy. Senator inside of vents, burning incredibly low. Molotov was primed perfectly there. Roof fire will be heard towards outside as well. Senator has been allowed down to that B side of the map, but now has been spotted. SG Pro, they are playing with a little bit of pace about them, but they've got to be so careful. It's a simple first kill to find for D. That Molotov doing plenty of damage. Necro toward ramp. Able to spot out the early info. Does get the trade back onto Dire, though. That's at least some nice damage in return. Impulse burning. Just about makes it out of the molly, but finished off by Fame. An AK to be gathered. The A side completely taken over by Level Up, but SG Pro, they are keeping themselves calm, not aggressing. AVN will be getting into that hook position. Oh, and takes out Roof Fire. So back to a 3v3, and they fire off a couple of shots to let them know exactly where they're coming from now.
Yeah, Fame down to 22 HP. Is going to be a pretty important figure right here. If he manages to get a kill, that could be it for Level Up on their defense. But Dimkey's angle is not going to get checked anytime soon. They might have an inkling that he might be there. And there will be the crossfire. Spray comes out. And it's going to be a perfect hold from Dimkey. Getting all 3 players again going big in these last couple of rounds. And with that, Level Up 3-0 against SG Pro. They get so close every single time, but just the last couple of steps is where SG Pro seems to falter on their T side. So this should be an eco, and then in the next day we'll have all the weapons and utility they need to try and win around. But there is no op save by Level Up, so that is a pretty crucial drop from that SG Pro managed to make happen.
Not too bad here. So far able to find a great start for Level Up. Nice little spam onto Dire as well. Rooffire trying to press the matter, see if they can find any early kills, but D is on the back of the B site, ready for that attack. Will get the damage, but can't get the frags. Fame already coming in with a massive opener. That bomb now planted. scarily, this might be somewhat possible for the T side to hold off. However, so many players on low HP. Sinator does have that M4 with the Kevlar posted, but isn't going to make much of a difference. He is a very easy target. Single bullet would really start to do the trick for him, and as time is ticking away on this one, Rufire able to find at least the refrag. Sinator falls eventually, but SG Pro cleaning it up, and they do in fact hold on through that round to get there first. They do come out with an eco victory, and they break level up as well.
That money is just gone. Those very close rounds, the first 3 rounds all being so incredibly close, just no money saved on the level up side. And well, they kind of have to eco into this one, so SG Pro will at least get themselves most likely a second round. Rufire picking up the SMG so that he can rake up a little bit of extra cash, get aggressive, and charge forward. Really loves going for the vent drop every single time, but does expect some aggression right behind him, which might be the case. The rest of his team is going to head outside, so they can just go down secret safely. It shouldn't be that big of a problem. We see the CTs pushing towards lobby, but there are no Ts left, so they should know. Well, they have all the info that they have to be outside right now.
Fairly common strat here from SG Pro. Very limited knowledge of this setup so far for level up, but they are working it out. Absolutely stacking up into that B bomb site. Again, it is scary that this is only USPs, but the overall manpower might actually overwhelm at least one player or so, but there we go. AVN gets at least a frag out of this. Not that he will receive much more, unfortunately. Dimka down into the 1 versus 4, even towards outside, so not going to make much of a difference. There is a weapon upgrade for Rufire as well. Get rid of that MP7. I believe there is an M4 to recollect there from Sinator's dead body, so not too bad of a round so far. 3-2. Eco will mean there is a buy to come from the upcoming round for level up. Again, it is starting out very close here, considering that this is, like you say, a map that neither of these teams are too proficient on, but SG Pro do have a better track record over the last sort of 3 to 5 matches. Definitely on the table for both of these teams. SG Pro looking good on the T side, though. A couple of rounds in quick succession. We know that you particularly do need, let's say, 5-6 rounds on this T side to be safe with. So we know that's the number they'll be looking for, but so far so good. Level up keeping the scoreline close. Rebuy to come, but no AWP available.
I was just checking out the statistics. Level up in their last 11 times playing this map, they have won it 1 time, and that was a 31-29 overtime against Winstrike.
Yeah,
that's a terrible statistic. And also knifing Dimki, who has been such a crucial player so far in the rounds that they have managed to win at the start of the round. Definitely not the best to do. They're just gonna get aggressive to start it off with. Fame is inside the smoke, gonna push forward, runs past the player who is still towards vent, but sprays him down. Fame gets himself a double. Necrogenesis in heaven will get traded out, and it's just a nice sweep. Fame gets 4 in that round after just balling right through that squeaky door, and immediately level up just destroyed. 3-3, and SG Pro should most likely be able to get themselves the 4th on the board. Of course, a couple of deagles and pistols being bought up into the next one should still be a little bit dangerous, but not too problematic for the SG Pro players.
Yeah, this is perfect so far. T-side getting some very good rounds in quick succession, which is always a scary sign, especially knowing, like you say, the track record of level up over the last few matches. Desert Eagles and pistols, single piece of Kevlar for Necrogenesis. The economy just not really being all too kind to level up over these past couple of rounds, but we'll see if they can make anything out of this pistol buy. A chance to maybe just grab a couple of kills, try and save a weapon through the latter stages, perhaps. Dimka, there we go, gets away with the first. That's always a good start as a player does fall through the outside position. That will redirect SG Pro completely down onto that B ramp position. Tagging up D now. Ultra information to be gathered. He'll get out with his life as well. But for how long is the question? Yeah, it does get caught. Sneaking in, Rooffire and Impulse, they'll take back trades here. This is perfect. The AK comes up, but not going to finish off Dire. Down to a 2v2, though, and this eco round looking treacherous.
Yeah, they will have 2 AKs to play with, of course, no armor, and they have to retake the site without... well, they have 1 flash, but it is going to be the aim punch coming through. Dimki gets 1. I mean, he has to go for a 4K to win this round. Spots the player out towards ramp, but should not have a kit, and honestly, they should know that he doesn't have a kit. Round has been won by SG Pro, but at what cost? It was incredibly problematic to get that one in. Durai on 3 HP will manage to stay alive in the end, but Dimki with that triple kill, I mean, he's been just, as you can see, 12-3, the only one, well, not the only one, just absolutely dominating SG Pro. But he cannot do that alone. He needs help of his team, and they actually need an op, which is surprising that they still don't have one right now, especially after they bought an op in the 2nd round previously.
Yeah, not able to invest at this point, just showing that SG Pro do have the economy on their backs. Still. Ooh, Molotov at least doing Dimka some damage. Pushing up straight onto the A side, though. That's a great first entry. Fame, good damage. Able to return the trade there for Kisa. Impulse firing back. Great sight hold. Much better on the side of SG Pro. That, oh, sorry, on level up. SG Pro being closed out completely. A side attack, though. Smokes being really awkward to gain control of there for SG Pro, and Tier 8. Oof, beautiful tap. He's in the 1v2, and with Impulse tagged, I wouldn't take this for granted. With a minute or just under left on the clock, Tier 8 at least does have a little bit of time left to work with here.
Yeah, if he manages to get this kill, it might be very dangerous indeed. Is going down lower. Does not have bomb control, so they know that he has to go towards the A site. But how is he exactly going to do this? Oh, going to be dicey. He has to go quick. Jiggle peeking, just 1 bullet more. Tap his face. There we go. But he's going to burn by the molly from Dimki, and it is going to be Dimki again getting the last kill of the round. 4-4. That was a fun little jiggle on the ladder. Unfortunately, was not able to get that kill in time before the molly came through, and with that level up managed to take themselves another round. It will still not be an op, and the buy on the level up side is not the greatest one. Weapon wise, they do have a lot of utility though, but SG Pro, well, they still have a decent amount of money. Fame's going to jump down towards fence, and he's just going to be that annoying player down below that's just going to keep the enemy occupied, because you always have to be worried about your back. He's just rushing towards ramp super aggressively. Will not take down D, of course. The MAC-10 is slightly weaker than his opponent's weapon. But Necrogenesis getting the 2nd as well, and then losing a couple too many players here on the SG Pro D side at the moment.
Yeah, very awkward couple of interactions here. 1-by-1 plays is never the way to go about this here if you are SG Pro on a T side. He will make a couple of valuable trades back, but again, it's not going to have any sort of overall effect so far. Bomb goes down, so they keep a little bit of cash in the bank. However, Impulse going for that peak. With DRA being relatively low, that works out perfectly. Down to a 1v2, though. Senator is on for the ace. He tries to pick off one. Dimka again coming in to save the day. And level up back into the lead they go. They'll sacrifice the M4s, get some AKs upgraded. That is absolutely perfect. 5-4, back into the lead they go. They keep a little bit of economy. Still, it's going to be expensive, though. SG Pro can keep on rebuying, and But Level Up, unfortunately, their bank is just going to take another hit here this time. Thankfully, players can drop out weapons. Still no AWP, though, and Senator will drop one out for Kisa, so plenty of cash being expended on the SG Pro side. But Level Up at least having the lead for now, looking to keep it exactly that way. However, SG Pro looking for a little more of a collective setup. Some of their 1v1s have been very, very scrappy, has not been the SG Pro we saw on Train, that's for certain.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice round indeed. Of course, if Level Up managed to win this one, they might be able to steal that op away for Impulse, which he really would much appreciate to have. Roofire is crawling forward, will get spotted out by AVN, and that's again the opening pick for Level Up, which has been the case of the last couple of rounds, making it troublesome for the SG Pro squad. Outside is still very doable to control, of course, because they don't have an op on the CT side, whereas they still do have Kiza with that big green stick. But they have to cross into Dimka. They do shut him down quickly, and now it's a 3-on-3 situation. Kiza gets a nice shot onto Avian towards having another one coming through with the op. The bomb is dropped towards that A site, but Kiza is going to get shut down by Impulse, who's now going to push forward, has bomb control. Will he be able to win the fight against DeRay? I think he spotted him out. Yes, he did. Tags coming up. It's just going to be a spray down from DeRay. Tap, tap, tap. And a little bit of extra bullets coming through. They save the op. They shut down a Level Up. And again, Kieran, look at that Level Up money. They win one round on SG Pro and it's gone.
Absolutely wiped. Able to get a rebuy into this one. Forcing up very limited weaponry. This is not a good purchase. Especially facing against a Level Up side, an SG Pro side that are ready to break the economy. That's a great start for Senator. Good read of the angle. One of the weapons taken out already. Kisa finding the second. Fame lining them up. They tried to get aggressive, but that does not work out in the slightest. 6-5 should be on its way and make that 7 as well. Level Up needing to go for the eco round, and SG Pro getting to the point where this is plenty of rounds now on T side of Nuke.
Look who's the last one standing. Gets himself a double as well, 1v5. It's, of course, Dimki, definitely the star player on the Level Up squad at the moment. Will get shot from behind. Oh my god, makes it a trip. He's making it very costly for this SG Pro side. And he is pretty much the main reason why SG Pro have not run away with their T side just yet.
That M4 as well, 4 HP. Would have liked to have keep on committing, trying to get a couple of those kills, but either way has done plenty of damage. Will give the lead back to SG Pro, however. So with the eco round now having to come through, we'll see if they can find chance to really extend this lead further. 7 rounds on T-side Nuke is a great number to be at, especially knowing that Level Up aren't particularly the safest of sides on this map in its entirety. 17 frags for Dimka. Nobody near him on that CT side. Everybody else so far behind. SG Pro's frags pretty balanced, pretty even. Got a very hard carry on that CT side, keeping this squad available in these rounds. Dimka, though, ready for the outside plate. The best positions to take with this type of weaponry in this scenario. He'll spot out the first player. They drop the bomb already, and there's literally no reaction from the SG Pro side. They want to play as calm as possible. Deere running into trouble, but gets himself 3. And they do eventually clean up the round. 7-5 for SG Pro.
That was a nice, quick round. Not super clean on the SG Pro side, but they managed to shut down Dimki. And finally, Impulse is going to be picking up that op. I really need him to step up in these last couple of rounds, because 7 rounds for the SG Pro T side, that is absolutely terrible to try and deal up with. One more and they win that T side, and that's not something that you want to see happen, especially because both teams statistically kind of suck on their T side, especially SG Pro only 40% win rate on it with 52% on their CT side. So definitely expecting this to go all the way for SG Pro with how they're looking right now. Dimkey's down below, might catch out Senator. I think, no, he actually did not spot him out there, it seems. Just turned away in time. 4 players down. Secret Dimkey is going to be the linchpin. He's, again, that linchpin, the point of contact every single time. Gets 1. Almost gets 2, but Kiza does win that duel with the op. Impulse close range is going to catch out 1, is going to go for the repeat, but Fame takes him down. A 1-for-1 trade all over the place, and D just peeks right into that big green stick of Kiza. Now it's on Necrogenesis and Avian to try and turn this one in their team favor. Otherwise, this half is lost. There's going to be the push forward, and Necrogenesis with the hero play just walks through the smoke, gets himself a double, denies the bomb plant as well, and that is the most crucial point. Senator now in a 1v2 clutch situation, and they're expecting him to go for the push. They know his positioning, going for the double peek. It will be AVN shutting down Senator, and Level Up managed to take that round away from SG Pro. Kudos on them, even saving the op for Impulse. But this still looks like it. Well, the money situation for SG Pro is kind of worrisome. They probably should go for an eco timeout. Yeah, exactly, so that they can discuss exactly how they want to run their entire weaponry and who to drop what and who buys what utility, what their possible plan is going to be in the next round, because they spent everything that they have into this round.
I will see how this one goes on round number 14 coming up here. It's going to be very hard bargain for Level Up, though. They lose this round, they will be most likely giving 9 away to that T side. Oh, sorry, to the T side, which is not how you want to be going about business here. We'll see just what they can bring to the table, though. AWP for Impulse once again. Kisa picking up his, of course. We'll be going for that buy round coming into this one. So, decent utility. Single defuse kit only on Impulse, though, which not the best of positions to be in, but it definitely is a chance necessary to come through with any sort of saving grace, perhaps. However, we'll see where this one takes place. Kisa getting ready. That outside peak. Impulse is aware of ramp control, but SG Pro playing very calm so far. Not wanting to overcommit.
Yeah, D is in a prime position right there. In secret, if he swings out wide, Kisa would never expect that angle. Of course, has to make a little bit of sound if he jumps down. But it's a little sneaky angle to be held there, and he might catch them on the tail end because no one is clearing out secret just yet. There's going to be a push forward towards garage. Fame clears it out, but took a little bit of damage for his troubles.
40 on the clock. Time is definitely ticking away here. Are aware of a potential player inside of that secret corner, or at least to come up from the stairs. Not yet going to clear it out. Level Up. Here comes the A-side attack. 20 seconds on the clock. Good timing on the jiggle peaks. They know exactly where they line up. Senator at least getting away with 1, but they will trade so incredibly quickly. And they haven't even realized that Necro is on the rafters. 7-7 will be going as close as it can be. So far, so good. Level Up at least surviving here in this first half.
And possibly also taking away the first half win. This is, well, another pause coming out from SG Pro. Tactical timeout. Last round of the half. What can they buy? What could, I mean, this might just be a pause so that they can go for a quick rush forward. Roofire on 3 frags, though, on the SG Pro side. That's not the greatest to see, especially with how good they were doing. But again, 21-6 for Dimkey. Absolutely making hero plays all over the map to try and keep his team in the game right now. With that, SG Pro do buy up 2 Mac 10s, 3 Mac 10s actually, Deagle and a Tech 9, and a little bit of utility. I'm expecting one to, a full-on rush with all those Mac 10s. Just don't know exactly where it's going to be. Could be ramp. It seems to be somewhere inside. And they're just going to rush forward towards ramp. Roof fire. Wants to go invent. Oh, Impulse misses the shot. And there are Mac 10s rushing forward to the upper close range. Is going to get caught out. Will get himself 1 kill, but traded out DeRay as well with the Deagle shot onto D. And all of a sudden, the full-on rush comes out successfully. They have 2 M4s and an op to defend the B bomb site. And yeah, this just went from reasonably okay to Impulse missed his shots.
Bomb goes down as well. This is going to be awkward for the retake. Of course, they've got to attempt this, given that it's the last round of the half. Necro now exposed as well. That Molotov will cut off at least one of these rotators, but positions far too powerful there. SG Pro getting away with 8 rounds. That is perfect. T-sided performance like that, with 8 rounds on the board, that's a really good way to end the half.
Yeah, definitely feeling like SG Pro would be able to take it, especially because Dimkey is at the moment the only one. Well, the rest have slightly come up, but Dimkey has been holding their hand the entire time in the first couple of rounds. And if the rest of the team does not step up the plate, Level Up cannot do that much. Of course, on the T side, it's a little bit easier to make those hero plays as a top fragger. You have those entries and where you could shut down a site and then open it up entirely for your team, but outside it's going to be the crossover. No kills happening just yet. A little bit of tag damage, but they managed to get down towards B. On B side, Fame coming in with a big double kill though, and it will be Dimkey taking 1 in return, but they can still rotate up top. It's Dimkey getting rid of Kiza as well. DeRay invents, will just keep them occupied, goes up towards the A site so that they cannot rotate that direction with the bomb. And well, they're gonna try it. They're gonna possibly just rush up vent, and if they can get anything done, DeRay does not get rid of them. D gets the kill coming through on 1 bomb. Can get planted on that A bomb site. It's going to go for a very defensive plant. Now it's on Roofire and Fame to try and retake this site. They know where 1 player is, but Impulse is on the flank of Fame, and Fame needs to be careful right there. Fame's, of course, a very solid player. He's even going to get knifed up. And now Roofire, I think he's only on 3 or 4 frags at the moment, but without a kit as well. They're just playing ring around the Rosie the entire time, going for the full sprint so that he cannot catch them. This is perfect play coming out from D, and even turns around to get the headshot, and absolutely outplayed by the Level Up T side, and a great round coming in from them.
Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Able to get away with a solid victory there for the T side, keeping them back competitive here on Nuke. Force buy out of the CTs though. Bringing up the scout for Kisa. XM for Fame as well. We'll be investing into that auto shotty. Knife in the back for Roofire. That's a good way to start. Already down to 39 points of health. He'll be grateful of that one. But Level Up presented with a very nice opportunity to themselves a solid victory here on this the second half, and alleviate the pressure of the first. D able to take out Roofire. That's a great way to begin. Already pincering into the A side. Wait a second. Back to a 2 versus 2. Senator can upgrade the weapon. Gets himself onto a Galil, but doesn't survive the onslaught from D. It's a 1 versus 2. Should be winnable there, and definitely is. Level Up trading the scoreline, getting the win in their favor, and making an eco for SG Pro as well. A chance for double digits on the horizon here.
This one, they just completely did not pay attention to the fact that he was standing out in the open after that molly was tossed in. But it's actually going to be a full force up on SG Pro again. Okay. Well, if they lose this, you're looking at, still a pretty problematic situation coming through. Where is that smoke going to? Oh,
Okay.
okay. Never seen that one before. Interesting. They at least cut off one piece of vision. There's going to be on the ramp, though. Sinter trying to go big. A decent amount of damage dealt. Rooffire gets a kill. And the UMP close range. Fame gets rid of Dimkey, but he's going to get swarmed. It's going to be a 2-on-3 situation. The flank's already coming in. And will the SMG get him? Yes, finally DeRay does. And the last man standing, Avian's going to get shut down. And the force up from SG Pro does come in clutch right there. They even managed to save themselves 3 AKs into the next round. And, well, level up their money situation is now pretty busted. That's the reason why SG Pro, of course, forced up. But they should pretty much save on their side and buy for the next round. They would have had full AKs. But they're just going to go for a rush play, it seems.
Like the right call to make here. Level up, picking up the pace with these lesser weapons is always a good way to go about. This impulse takes a little bit of a tag early. Not going to be super impactful though. Already Rooffire takes out Necro, lines up a second as well. Some great damage, perfect round. So far, so good. SG Pro up to double digits. An eco round to come from level up. ET side starting to look relatively comfortable now. They advance up to that double-digit mark. Should be able to extend that run up to 11. Dimker as well, still nowhere near being touched by any of these level-up players around him. 23 frags for him, the rest on 12 to 11 at a maximum. Hard carry so far, but SG Pro, we'll see what they can bring to the table here. Should be a simple cleanup, and yeah, definitely is.
Yeah, that's just some eco frags to pad those stats. SG Pro 11, level up 9. We don't have an op in play just yet, but they do definitely have enough money on the SG Pro side to buy at least 2 more rounds. So level up need to win a lot of rounds in a row against a fully stacked CT side, which is going to be rather troublesome. Let's see if they can manage to make it work, though. They need Dimkey to, again, make those... They just need him to make those hero plays constantly. The spray through the smoke does get a couple of tags in, but they're double-upping towards red. There's going to be a 1-for-1 trade so far. Keys it down to 1 HP.
How does he get out? There we go. Yeah. Doesn't get out.
But do they expect Fame to be there as well?
Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. They don't even know that Fame's in this corner either. They'll try and check him out. DRA backs him up. That's really good from SG Pro. Not to mention the obvious damage drop down to his death. AVN last alive. SG Pro, they're looking good right now.
Yeah, AVN last man standing. Bomb under control by the CTs. Let's see what he can make happen right now. He still has 45 seconds left. There's a player all the way towards his own roof, though. The T-sided roof. AVN does spot Senator, tags him pretty heavily as well. It's going to smoke him off from that position, so he could possibly cross forward in towards the outside area. But of course, his flank is always going to be there. And DeRay is literally standing on top of the bomb, waiting for his opponent to peek right into him. 9 to 12, and SG Pro looking solid to take this in 2.
Here it is. Impulse tried. It gets dropped down to 23 health or so. And yeah, doesn't stick the landing there, unfortunately. SG Pro, a chance for 13. A chance to really extend their run of form here on Nuke. A massive opportunity to already push themselves up to a solid amount of rounds. And being elimination day, they needed to turn up, and they seem to have exactly done so. Dimka does return at least a frag, but Kisa, he's aware of the footsteps, tags them both, even gets the frag. AVN down. Yet another 1v3. This time does have the bomb in hand, but I doubt that he'll be getting too much out of this one. SG Pro starting to cruise towards a very comfortable victory so far, and their map pick working out right now. Good denial there. Able to retrieve the AWP for Kisa as well. Money's looking good. Rounds are looking even better. SG Pro are very comfortable so far.
Yeah, SG Pro, you can really see that they've been working on their nuke compared to in the past, especially in the recent matches. The difference between the two sides is pretty apparent on nuke. They really did choose one of the weaker maps of their opponents. Kisa getting super aggressive with that op. Nice run boost attempt, but unfortunately the smoke covers all the vision, and we have Necrogenesis down below coming through. Senator with the op as well, getting super aggressive, and he knows that there's another player waiting and guarding the back. Sinja actually fell back. He could have had the kill on D right there. Avian is going to take down Roofire on the A bomb site, and they've got A control completely. Just SG Pro left it alone entirely because that one player that went down secret was a little bit too scary, and they're going to save their weapons already.
The right call to make there. They completely bluffed up that A-bomb site hold there, so that's going to keep them just carrying the weapons over into the next round. That will allow Level Up to now retrieve double digits. At least get themselves a little more of a safer scenario to play from, especially given the fact that they're now only 3 rounds behind, but money is far too good on the side of SG Pro to be worrying about that anytime soon. Level Up not even wanting to challenge the saves either, which you can tell just how sort of safe and how nervous they are to really play this T side, considering the fact that they're not hunting down the weaponry, keeping themselves established here. But here we go. 13-10. Rebuy, of course, to come through. A weapon dropped out by Fame to RU Fire to keep the economy stacked. Level Up getting ready for the potential of working this back into a feasible scoreline. We'll see how it goes, though. Kisa getting ready to rattle off some shots, trying to peek through the smoke, see if he can get any damage. But Level Up seeming like they are getting ready for a very fast A-sided take. SG Pro this time not ignoring the A-bomb site.
Yeah, they're ready, but they do need to be careful that they don't get flashed off. Like, exactly that happens. Wait, what?
No.
How did... You can't be kidding me. Did they all flash themselves or something? He literally stood there spraying like crazy, and they just ignored him. No one even gave a call out that he was there. How does he manage to get back?
We need to see a replay of that. I don't even know how that happened. Okay, yeah, AVN, like the fact that he just completely ignores that corner. Yeah, that's a real miscommunication there by Level Up. That's so awkward.
Well, luckily they did still have 5 alive in the previous round, so they have a full buy into this one, including an op. Never mind, minus the op coming through because Fame opens up the round. Fame's been absolutely destroying this series. Definitely the star player of the SG Pro side, and they will be able to recover that op for Impulse. See if he can make the T-sided op work. Center is playing a ramp room with his op as well. So the double op from SG Pro really forcing Level Up backwards a bit. Kisa going up towards Heaven now with his big green stick. See if he can spot anyone out. But Level Up need to try and figure out their plan of attack here. It does seem that they're gonna fall back towards the outside area, which is, well, not much happening right now. They're gonna throw out the wall of smokes. Might just be a bait coming through. Fame playing close towards vents, and this could be a very dangerous position to deal with. It's actually gonna go down below, and that is unfortunate timing. They have the right with the molly left out. Fame is going to push back. And
no.
This is perfect. Will catch out Necrogenesis. Goes for Dimkey, but Dimkey does win that trade war. The peek out wide from Roofire. They're going to try to go down vent. It is going to be Sinter getting rid of Dimkey at least, but they still do have... Never mind, only AVN left alive on the bomb site with the bomb. Will go for the plant, but 1v4. All of his angles are being covered. Both of them being covered by an op. And he did not expect Keys to be on the other side. So it is going to be SG Pro 15 to level up 10. And they have 5 series points. Or they're eliminated on the level up side.
So unfortunate. CT side has been absolutely stellar for level up here. Money will result in a further rebuy. Again, though, you can see the weakness on that T side is so apparent. I mean, looking at the frag differential, you've got Fame on 26 there, just top of the leaderboard for his squad, but then there's no, like, on the level up side, you've got Dimka 25 kills, but there's nobody sitting around him to support him. Kisa, that's a very fast flick. First kill to be found already. And SG Pro, they are looking absolutely fantastic. Sinator aggressively, that's the bomb dropped already. Will stick around for a little bit longer. Burning in the Molotov will now fall back, so allows the bomb to be recollected. But, oh, again, a second molly down. Aggro push, good return. Back to a 3v3.
Yep, making it still possible for level up to stay in this game. Fame jumping down vents, and he's going towards control room to defend that B bomb. Saikiza has ramp, well, hell push pretty much, and outside, so they're completely spread thin. And it's going to mean that level up have to, well, most of the time face up against only one player until the rotations come through. They're going to throw out the utility and the likes, push out forward. AVN gets taken out, but there is Dimkey, of course, together with Necrogenesis. What a shot, though. That one was beautiful, and the flank from Fame comes through. SG Pro 16 to 10, destroyed level up on the first map. Second map a little bit closer, but in the end, once they hit that CT side stride, they absolutely annihilated them.